For the day in sport with Darren Morrow. Darren, very timely. Speaking of young people teaching their elders a thing or two, It's been a bit of a family day at the Melbourne Cup today.
Certainly has, Janice. Another race, another amazing finish. Good evening to you. 24-year-old trainer Joseph O'Brien has beaten his famous father to Melbourne Cup glory. The younger O'Brien's horse, Rekindling, overhauled Johannes Vermeer, trained by his dad, Aidan, in the closing stages.
It was the next generation that dominated the track at Flemington. 4-year-old Rekindling running down Johannes Vermeer in the final strides to hand young trainer Joseph O'Brien the cup at his first attempt and deny his father Aidan in the process.
Rekindling has won the Emirates Melbourne Cup.
For owner Lloyd Williams, a sixth win in the great race, but he left the plaudits for O'Brien Jr., who at 24 has achieved something his father hasn't.
I'm proud of this young man. He's a star, absolute star. You know, I've been telling people that father needs to watch out.
Corey Brown acting on O'Brien's advice to perfection to clinch his second cup.
After speaking to Joseph, I didn't want to rev him up and get him sort of too keen, but in transit he had a perfect run. He is deserving of a win.
Corey gave him an unbelievable ride, and I just so delighted for everyone and all the lads at home, and the lads that are down here with him have done an unbelievable job.
Jockey Ben Melham admitted he thought he'd won the cup before Rekindling flashed past him on the line.
Pressed the button, I thought we were home, to be honest with you, but probably just the weight difference was a telling story at the finish.
An Irish won too today, while 9 of the first 11 finishes came from outside Australia. The cup getting harder for local horses, the race now a truly global occasion. John Baldock, SBS World News.
The Socceroos say they won't be intimidated by fans as they prepare to face Honduras in San Pedro Sula. Australia held its first training session this morning before Saturday's first leg of the World Cup playoff. Defender Aziz Behich says playing in front of an intimidating crowd is nothing new for the players.
Yeah, I think most of the boys have played in big, hostile environments, and you know, we've done that with the national team as well during our qualifiers in some parts of Asia.
Captain Mile Jedinak trained and is on track to lead the Socceroos for the first time since June. Melbourne Victory has battled from a man and a goal down to earn a draw with the Western Sydney Wanderers. Mitch Austin was sent off in the first half before Oriol Riera headed home the opener for the visitors. Thomas Deng scored his first ever A-League goal to earn a point for Victory. Kevin Muscat's side remains winless this season. The Wallabies are confident they'll continue their historic dominance over Wales when the sides meet in Cardiff this weekend. Australia remains undefeated against Wales in 12 matches. The Wallabies last lost in 2008 against them. Scott Sio believes the strength of the tourists' scrum will help extend that run, but he stopped short of predicting a clean sweep of the spring tour.
Something we definitely don't say lightly. You know, it's very tough to come over here and win. You know, to do that, we definitely know we're going to have to be, 100% ready to go.
Carmichael Hunt is expected to be named at fullback when coach Michael Cheika announces his team this week. And of course, a reminder, you can watch live action of the Wallabies spring tour. The first 2 games will be broadcast on SBS. Join us on Sunday when Australia takes on Wales. That's followed by a clash against England a week later. And then on SBS Viceland on November 26th, the Wallabies will face Scotland. All 3 matches will be streamed live on SBS On Demand. Kangaroos winger Josh Mansour expects to receive a hostile reception from Lebanon fans when the two nations meet on Saturday night. The 27-year-old was eligible to be selected by the Cedars for the Rugby League World Cup, but he was called into the Australian squad after Darius Boyd was ruled out. Mansour played 3 tests for Lebanon in 2009.
Hopefully I can get the family barracking for me, but I doubt it. Lebanese are very proud people, and you know, everyone in the community stick together. So there'll definitely be a lot of boos out there for me, no doubt. But we'll see what happens.
The Kangaroos will finish top of Pool A if they beat Lebanon. Australian captain Steve Smith has returned to form just 2 weeks out from the first Ashes test against England. Smith secured his 34th first-class century for New South Wales in the Sheffield Shield this morning. After making just 31 runs in his previous 4 innings, the 28-year-old was out for 76 and 127 against Western Australia. The Ashes begin in Brisbane on November the 23rd. Elise Perry says Australia is full of confidence heading into the first ever women's day-night test match. Australia leads the Ashes series against England 4-2. The hosts will retain the urn if they win the historic clash at North Sydney Oval.
I'm sure England are very much aware of that too, but yeah, I mean, given that we don't play a lot of test matches, you want to be successful in them and you want to really make the most of the opportunities that we've got.
The 4-day pink ball match begins on Thursday. In the space of 2 years, Amanda Reid has secured a Paralympic medal and 2 cycling world championships. Now, her cerebral palsy and Indigenous heritage made her a target at school. In tonight's special feature, she reveals how a chance encounter prompted a major change.
Amanda Reid takes the highs and lows of international competition in her own stride.
If you don't think, you don't get the nerves, so I just choose not to think.
Finding old cycling clothes under her house prompted the Wamba Wamba and Guringai woman to radically transition to cycling, less than 10 months out from last year's Rio Paralympics, after first wearing the green and gold as a swimmer in London 4 years prior.
I think I just trained my butt off. I was like, I really want to get that team.
And the success came quickly.
Oh, she smashes it. Look at this, it's a Paralympic record.
Only a world record winning time beat her to the gold, meaning she's out for revenge in Tokyo 2020.
The silver medal has a very, very bitter taste. She want to taste the gold medal and she will get it one day. I know.
At least 6 training sessions a week has made her stronger than ever physically. But that's only outmatched by her resilience she developed earlier in life. Her cerebral palsy and Indigenous heritage made her a target.
The bullies that I had at school, they're still sitting at home. They haven't travelled the world like I have, which I sort of have the last laugh. So on them.
What hurdles or what barriers have been in place, she seems to be able to jump over them, go around them, knock them down and keep going.
I'm definitely motivated. I just want to win that gold and take that gold home and make my country proud, make my mum proud and my family.
Laurie Lawira, SBS World News.
And finally in sport tonight, a security guard at the Paris Masters has been left red-faced. World number 1 and 16-time major champion Rafael Nadal was due to take the court, but he was initially refused entry when the guard failed to recognise him.
I don't have it here. You don't have like this? Okay, okay. Who are you? Rafael Nadal. Okay, thank you.
My goodness, Nadal, who later pulled out of the tournament, shrugged off the incident with a laugh. My goodness, how would you feel?
Oh, you can't be too careful. Can't just let anyone in. Thanks, Darren. Coming up, the weather details, and from the boss to Jimi Hendrix and Paul McCartney, the greats' guitars go up for auction.